Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm super excited to be on this call, and I have to, after listening to you chat a little bit, I have to just share briefly. I remember when I first saw you on the Super Saturday video, and you were sharing your story of, cancer, and, everybody is bawling their eyes out, and how touching that was. And then I remember meeting you in person and standing in line next to you, like she had shared in the Elite lines, we're always next to each other. And just kind of getting to know you a little bit better has been absolutely amazing. And then truly, we went to, quite a few of my coaches went to Melanie Mitro's training at Summit. And Katie had spoke, and it was like I looked at my coaches down, next to me, and their jaws were like dropping when you were speaking. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get Katie on the call, on one of our team calls, because you really resonate with so many people on so many different levels. And I really feel like your testimony and the way you approach it and analyze it is so relatable for so many different people. So you guys are so blessed to have an amazing coach as Katie for your upline coach. So super privileged to be here. I've been a coach for 4 years, and the lead program is near and dear to my heart because I was a lead. I came in as actually not a free customer lead. I came in as a diamond lead. So you guys, there's free customer leads that we get. There's the Success Club leads. And then once you achieve diamond rank, they have another lead program. Now, there's not a specific amount of coaches that you get. It's not, you're not required to get them, but randomly you'll get these free coach leads. And they're people like myself. I accidentally signed up as a coach, if you can believe that. I went to a Turbo Kick instructor training course to get certified, and the instructor was drinking Shakeology, and I was chatting with her, and I didn't want to be sold on anything. So I didn't even ask her about Shakeology. I went home and I researched it, found it too good to be true, and I read it with 30-day money back guarantees. I decided to buy it, but I somehow clicked on a box to be a coach instead of a customer. So I was a free diamond coach lead to my coach, Lisa. Now, in order to receive those leads, you have to have the same requirements as the customer leads. And I believe the Success Club leads, now that they changed those requirements, but you have to hold a diamond rank. And like I said, those leads will randomly come in and out throughout your organization. And you really, it's kind of tricky. I check my sponsorship drill down weekly and kind of just scan through my coaches because they don't always seem to come up in your new coaches added. So if you're diamond, be aware of that, and that's kind of all I have to say on the diamond lead program. And truly, honestly, I would just pick up the phone and call them. And when you do that, it's so nerve-wracking. I have coaches that are like shaking in their britches, like, oh my gosh, I cannot pick up the phone and just call somebody. But I want you to pretend that you're talking to like your best friend on the phone. And, I'll be kind of wandering around the house, and I'll call and I'll say, hey, Katie, this is Jessie Vendeberghe, and I'm your free Beachbody coach. I saw that you signed up to be a coach. Congratulations. I would love to help you achieve your goals. Tell me a little more about what made you decide to sign up as a coach. If I have to leave a message, I leave a message and just basically say that minus, the questions. And then usually I follow up with a text message as well. So that's kind of the way I reach out to them. And then I follow it up with an email. So that's very briefly on the Diamond Lead program because those are pretty hit and miss. So I'm going to dive right into the customer lead program and how to earn free customer leads as well as Success Club leads. And then what do we do with them? So I have talked to so many people that are Beachbody coaches, that are top coaches in the company, and they don't utilize their leads. We get so busy with our to-do list. We get so busy with the hustle and bustle. And I have a lot of top coaches that are Star Diamond coaches that were my free customer leads. Nurturing those relationships. And I don't know, I'm sure you guys do too, but do you ever just like add new friends on your Facebook from like those, you have so-and-so amount of friends in common, right? Like we're always trying to build our network and to grow our views and our likes. Well, when you're adding new friends, generally you might have friends in common, but you don't really know them. So it's trying to build relationships with them. And that's how I want you to look at the lead program is these people are coming to you and creating a free account and they want help, but they don't even know where to start usually. So on both leads, the Success Club lead and the free customer leads, you want to treat them just like, they're a new friend on Facebook, and ask questions, engage, form them. If you guys use that acronym FORM, it's family, occupation, recreation, and message. It's an acronym that we use that is just going to kind of help remind you of triggering some questions. Like ask, if they have a fitness routine, or ask, if they're a stay-at-home mom, or do they work outside of the home? What do they feel like they struggle most with when it comes to their nutrition? Do they have kids? Ask these questions to kind of just really build the relationship and know where they're coming from. How much time do they have in the day to work out? That'll kind of help gear you to make some suggestions for workout programs. So to kind of get a little more specific with each category, the free customer lead program, you are able to earn free customer leads if you are number one, an active coach that's an active Emerald coach. All of your fees are paid, so your coach fee, you need to have club membership, you need to have your profile picture, a before picture, and a biography. And you have to have achieved Emerald by the last Wednesday of the month. Now, so those are the qualifications in order to receive free customer leads. Now, there's some stipulations, and you can kind of check back in the Coach FAQ if you just Google Beachbody Coach FAQ customer leads. There's, questions and answers about like what to do with specific leads. So that's really user friendly if you have specific questions. But for me, kind of the process I do is every Thursday, it's, the start of our new week, we're in our back office, we're checking rank advancements, we're checking everything out. Look under your customers, and it'll say in your alerts in the bottom left of your online office, under new customers, you'll see if you have one or two or how many new customers you have. When you open that up, and if it doesn't say from my site, it's from one of the customer lead programs. So it's either a customer lead or it's a Success Club lead. And Success Club leads come if you are Emerald active coach, you have all the requirements to receive free customer leads, but then you're also hitting Success Club 10. Okay, that's how you get Success Club leads. Now, so under your alerts, it'll either say my site or it'll say Success Club lead. Or if it's a customer lead, you can have three options. So, and I know this is kind of where some of people from my team get confused too. Customer lead can show up as either one, a free player member, which is basically somebody that just logged on to Team Beachbody and created a free account. We don't know if they bought anything. We don't know if they're interested in buying anything. We don't know anything more than that they have a free account and they want access to a coach. Okay, that's going to come up as a free player member. That's one of the customer leads. The second customer lead is, just had a brain fart. The second customer lead is going to come through as club. So it'd be a club membership. So if somebody comes through and signs up with club membership, now you don't earn commissions off of their first club dues. So we earn 50% of club dues. We don't earn that first commission, that first 50%. It's every quarter after that they pay, you'll earn that 50%. So with customer leads, you don't earn that instant commission right away. It's the ongoing orders that you earn commission off of. And so then the third one, the third lead program, or the third customer lead program that comes through would be the Success Club. So you definitely have different things to look for under your new customers, and you're going to approach each one of them differently. So I start off by sending them all an email on Thursday and a text message. So, and in my text message, I let them know that I also sent an email, because I've had so many times where I go to their spam folder and they'll message me back in text and say I didn't get an email. And I'll have them check their spam, and sure enough, there I am. So, and I treat them just like, you know, I'm their friend. And I do let them know in both text and email that I'm a customer just like they were. And that, you know, I'm here to just help them reach their health and fitness goals. My time is free. And that most people don't realize that they are assigned a free coach when they create an account. So I do let them know that, because a lot of times people are like, who is this crazy lady that she's texting me and she's calling me or she's emailing me? I didn't pay for her. And that's like the first red flag that goes off in their mind, is like, I don't have money for this person. So make sure that they understand that you're just there to help them and support them and be their cheerleader. And that they're assigned this coach when they created a free account. And then really put value in yourself of what you can do to help them, so that they listen to you. You want to engage in short questions that are going to have short answers that are easy to answer, as well as that keep them interested, that they don't blow you off. So make it fun and really have fun with it. Bring your personality into it, because then you become relatable, you become fun, and they want to continue to chat with you. If I don't hear back from email, which to be honest with you, I would say over 90%, I do not hear back from email. Email, I think, is like the last option that people go to anymore. I know it is for me. It's always text or, you know, your Facebook are kind of like the go-tos now, it seems. So, you know, over the 4 years of coaching, you know, the process kind of shifted a little bit of what I've done with the leads. And I'll be brutally honest, most of the people I get a hold of is through text message. And if I don't get a hold of them, I'll pick up the phone and I'll call them and I'll leave them a message. And then, you know, I'll check back in again the following week with those same people. So there's kind of a little process of that first Thursday, check in with them. If I don't hear back from them and I'm not in ongoing conversation with them, I do a follow-up 1 week later, because generally 1 week later, if they've ordered anything, they've received their package by then. Now, the other thing, I've created a document of sample emails as well as sample text messages, and a very generalized sample phone conversation. Now, you have to kind of come up with that conversation yourself. But make sure that you have an agenda when you call somebody. Like, you want to know what their health and fitness goals are. You want to know what their struggles are and what you could best help them with. And make the call short and sweet. If you're randomly calling the person, think of this. When you have a stranger call you, are you automatically just going to let go and drop whatever you have going on at home to talk to some stranger for 20 or 30 minutes? No, you're not at all. So make sure that you're quick in and out on the phone call, engage with them, have an agenda of a couple questions, and then say, hey, you know, I would really like you to focus on just getting in enough water. Give them one little small task that's just going to help them feel better. And just say, I'm going to send you a Facebook request, and I want you to work on this week just drinking at least 64 ounces of water a day. And then do you mind if I send you a text or call you back next Friday around the same time? And so you schedule that follow-up call. And what it does is it starts building that relationship. And then they think it's really cool that you're giving them a task to work on and you're going to check back in with them. And truly, it doesn't take a lot of time. Like I said, you want to be in and out on that call because you want to be respectful of them. And plus, you're probably shaking in your boots when you're calling these people at first because you're probably super nervous. A lot of times people are nervous when they pick up the phone to call a stranger. So be in and out, be quick, and be mindful of their time and be respectful and help them with something that they can work on for the week. The other thing is when you're asking them, whether it's email, text, or phone, don't be afraid to ask them if they ordered a program, if they, own a Beachbody program, or if they've ordered one. And always let them know, like, I don't always see everything on my end. So I just want to make sure that you aren't waiting for a program in the mail or that you already don't have a program ordered. Um, and then that way you're kind of addressing that question. Any questions that you have of like, I wonder if they own a Beachbody program, ask that question. Don't let it just kind of filter in your mind, because that's going to help you get to know them. And if you're always wondering, then you don't have the best tools to be able to give them advice. Because if they receive 21-day fix in the mail and you keep engaging with them about their nutrition and what they struggle with, you could be relating that directly to the program they're waiting to receive, and better help them have success with the 21-day fix. So the other thing is too, as a newer coach, when you first start getting those leads, it's very easy to go in, like I said, every Thursday to your online office and work those leads. Now, once you start getting leads over and over and over again, and you start building a large team and organization, I will be brutally honest with you, it's really hard to keep up with having that on your to-do list every day. Thursdays are kind of crazy. And so what works out really well for me is once a month, I know if I missed any lead, that I'm going to get them for sure at the end of the month. And what I do is I go into my previous office view, not my online office. I go into my previous office view, and under my orders and then customer orders, you see everybody that is your customer that was either, number one, assigned to you this last month or that has purchased. So all of those ongoing customers that continue to order every single month, whether it's a new program or it's their next order of Shakeology, you see all of those people there that have ordered in the last 30 days. And I go through and I text message every single one of them. And I might have 50 people to text, but you guys, it really doesn't take that much time. And it's a great way for you to build a relationship. It takes one day out of the month. At the end of every month, I go through and I text message people. So what I do is I have that library on my phone. When I type in their phone number, if they ordered something, I can see, oh, I sent Susie a message last month because this is actually her 4th month of receiving Shakeology. It's probably time for me maybe to invite her to the Coach Open House, or maybe to start planting those seeds a little bit more of getting her thinking about maybe getting her Shakeology paid for, and really getting her talking more and more about what she likes about Shakeology and getting her to share more about Shakeology. So for me, I'm not that great at organization, and this is simple, easy. It's not another piece of paper that I have to have. And once I type their phone number in from looking at my current last 30-day orders, their last text message pops up. So then I can kind of catch right back up with the conversation. So I personally find that texting is a great way for me to reach out to my customer leads, because everything stays right here. And so from then, sometimes I can't get a hold of people. So on some of those, I send handwritten notes. Now, there's not a whole lot of them. There might be like 3 or 4 that I don't have an email from, or I've sent emails, I've never received them, after months. And they never respond to my texts, or they never answer my phone calls. So then I send them a handwritten thank you. Again, it doesn't take much time, and there's not very many of them. I would say, honestly, I probably spend 2 to 4 hours a month on my customer leads. And like I said, I have quite a few Diamond and Star Diamond coaches, and coaches that are hitting Success Club every single month that are just really solid emeralds that come from the customer lead program. One goal that I always tell my coaches too is I truly feel like Success Club 10 is like the new standard to really focus on hitting Success Club 10, because not only is that pushing you to a new standard of helping 5 new people a month, in your mind, you have control of that. What is that? What do you need to do to help 5 new people a month? And I know how scary that is. I remember that goal that I set when I first started coaching, of that being my goal from the start. And some months were crazy, crazy hard. But you guys, what it taught me was I needed to show up every day. I needed to be consistent. If I showed up every day and I was consistent with my invites and my follow-ups and my personal development and my posting on Facebook, and at the end of the month, I was still not at 10, I need to step my game up and invite more people. At the end of the day, you guys, this is such a numbers game of how many conversations you can have and how well can you get to know people. And know in your mind, you have something to help everybody. And you have the power to be that cheerleader and that person to impact their lives. And you truly have to make them believe that. And whether it's cost objection, I mean, you guys get it just as much we get it. You know, so whether you're a new coach or an advanced coach, you get those same objections. But you know what changes? Your mindset, your belief. You're unstoppable. You know what this can do for you because you've been proof the product works. So really move your standard up to not just Success Club, but Success Club 10. And you know what? If you're struggling to hit Success Club, then reflect, do some reflection of what is it? Are you showing up every day? Are you having new conversations? Are you following up with people? What are you doing for your personal development? Do you feel good every single day? Are you taking care of you? And reflect on this. And if you're not treating your business like a business and showing up to your business every day with a to-do list in your hand and working and checking off that to-do list, then that is probably why you're struggling. And I know that because I have slipped up myself. So if you're not consistent, it might not show up that month, but it's going to show up the next month. So like Katie was asking you, if you're struggling right now in August, what was last month? Most of us were all in Nashville, right? Like we were posting awesome pictures, but were you inviting daily when you were there? I mean, think about it. Like think about what you did last month always reflects the following month. Make sure that you're consistent. And go back in and like she said, follow up with all those people that told you no, or follow up. I bet you guys can go through your Facebook Messenger and find tons of people that you didn't solid get a yes or a no from. And really set the standard of Success Club 10, because when you start getting those Shakeology leads, and then you have those customer leads, all of that is volume coming up into your business center. And to be your coaches as well. You want your coaches to be solid emeralds. You want your coaches to be hitting Success Club, because you're not only helping them lay the foundation for their business, you're helping them take advantage of every customer lead option that we have. That is more volume for them. That is more success for them. And that is what is going to help them grow a long-term, whatever, six-figure income business, if that's what your goal is, you know, with consistency. So set the new standard of Success Club 10 for yourself and just keep inviting. You know, you're going to fail your way forward and figure out what works for you. You know, what I share with you, what Katie shares with you, what you have from Melanie, whatever you have, utilize that and find what works for you. And if it doesn't work for you, tweak it. You know, tweak it a little bit, but be consistent and show up every day, because those lead programs are money. Those lead programs are lives that you can change, that they are longing for help and longing for somebody to be their cheerleader. You know, like we live in a small town too, and we have lots of Beachbody coaches in town. And there are so many other small towns, big towns, that don't have a lot of Beachbody coaches. So when Susie in the middle of nowhere signs up for a free account and she doesn't know anybody, or she's had life happen to her and she's had some, you know, really bad circumstances that she's going through, she needs somebody to believe in her. She needs that guidance. You guys don't want a free customer lead coming through that they're hanging on by a thread. And you could be the game changer in their life. You could be what makes or breaks them. I want you to look at your customer leads like that. Look at them as people just like you. They need your help just as much as you need your coach's help, or you needed help when you started. So really spend time. It doesn't take a lot of time. Spend the time on those customer leads and find what resonates with you, what feels good. Get out of your comfort zone. The other thing I tell my coaches are, you don't know these people. Just talk. Get uncomfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know, you might invite your best friend and be holding back and so afraid to say different things. These customer leads don't even know you. So practice on them, practice conversations on them, practice inviting them, practice sharing your story on them, because you don't know them. So it really doesn't matter, right? And pretty soon you're going to be so good at telling your story. You're going to be so good at forming people. You're going to be afraid to ask your friend you went to high school with, you know, what her goals are, or maybe, you know, she'd be interested in a coach opportunity. But the more you ask your customer leads, the more confident, the more comfortable you're going to be in asking your friends and your family and your friends of friends to join your challenge groups and to join you in this coach opportunity. So use those customer leads as practice in getting uncomfortable, because there's no judgment. They don't know who you are. The last thing that I want to share with you is, don't forget to not only build that relationship, but get them on your Facebook page. You know, let them know, like, hey, I would love to friend you on Facebook if you're on Facebook. I post a lot of great recipes. I post a lot of inspiration and motivational posts for fitness. And I'd love to be that go-to fitness person that you need on a daily basis, that's going to give you that motivation and support daily. So if you're on Facebook, do you mind if I friend request you? Now, make sure that you do it right then when you ask them, because so many times I can't find them on Facebook, or maybe have them friend request you. So that's just kind of my little tip on that. And don't try to sell them on anything in the first conversation. That's a big no-no. Try to just get to know them. Are they waiting for a product? Do they have a Beachbody product? And friend them on Facebook. Give them a task to work on for the week: drinking more water, try to move more, you know, try to exercise, go on a walk, go on a jog, whatever, you know, 3 days a week. Just try to do something more than what they were doing. And then schedule that second call with them, or whatever, text message, whatever it is. And then check in with them. And pretty soon that relationship starts growing. Pretty soon you might be in Facebook Messenger with them. Pretty soon they're going to be in your next challenge group. Pretty soon they're going to learn about how awesome Shakeology is if they weren't a Success Club lead. And then it just starts forming and it starts happening. And pretty soon you have awesome challenge groups too, that you're not having to have, join, your upline or join a friend, because you have customer leads in there. So you might just really start filling your challenge groups too with customer leads that need your help. So those are kind of my tips for the lead program. I will send over the document that I created over to Katie, and she can post it in your team page. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm definitely far from perfect on my leads. This is how I work my leads. I tweak as I go. If I'm not consistent weekly, I know I get them at the end of the month as well. So at least they hear from me once a month. And then by doing that, that keeps you in good standings and following up with those people that consistently are ordering every month too. So it's great for a follow-up with your customer leads as well. So that's all I got for you. If you guys have any questions.
I do have one for you. So whenever you are texting them, do you save them in your phone as who that person is? So do you have them as a contact, or do you just have their number? Do you just plug in their number? Do you actually save it as Susie whatever?
Both. So at first, it's just the phone number. I don't save them as a contact until we have some follow-up conversations and we have ongoing messages. And if I see that they respond well with text, and that, maybe we continue the process and the conversation for a while, then I put them under, and I'll say I always start with customer lead, Susie, or it's always under customer lead. And then I'll put their first and last name in there.
I like that. That's smart. And then I was going to ask one more question. Do you guys have questions? You guys can unmute yourselves if you guys have questions. This was so insightful. I was jotting down, I have 3 pages of notes because clearly this is not one of my areas of strength, but it's going to become, but you're right. You also mentioned too, and this isn't something that I think a lot of coaches, new coaches in the organization know. You mentioned the previous office view to them. Do you want to kind of like tell them a little bit about what that is?
So the previous office view is, so you have your online office, and that's where you kind of run your whole business. And the previous office view, in the easiest detailed form, is more details of the specifics. So your genealogy, you can change your leg placement back there. All of your earnings, you can go back through and look at all your earnings. So a lot of what is in the My Business tab goes into depth a little more of the previous office view, really to kind of simplify it the easiest way possible. And for me, going into the online office and going under customers, it's just long and cumbersome. So going into the previous office view is easy to look up under my orders, my customer orders, and then you can see it's just really nicely laid out, the last 30 days and so on and so forth. So it's just kind of an expanded version of the My Business tab.
Yep. And it's also, I find that it tends to be more up to date than the Coach online office too. So that was another piece of it. That is awesome. You gave such good advice. Oh, I did have one more question. You mentioned that you send personalized notes at some point.
Yes. So Beachbody changed, which is fantastic. There were times that we didn't have an email address and we didn't have a phone number to be able to contact them. So now they say with the leads that we should have at least the email or the phone number. But when I send those thank you invites, when I send the thank you cards, it's because I usually only have one or the other and they're not responding to me. I'm not getting a hold of them. And I find that, okay, this person, like I have a person that's been ordering for 18 months, Shakeology, for 18 months. And I've never talked to her ever. She's never responded back to me. I'm determined. So she's gotten quite a few thank you cards from me. And unless I just constantly go into her spam, or maybe she doesn't get text messages, I have no clue. She's got to get voicemail. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. She just doesn't want to work with a coach, I guess. So, and then I also have another gal that was kind of the same thing. She wasn't as challenging. I finally found her on Facebook. And once I got her on Facebook, got her in challenge groups, and she's been drinking Shakeology for over a year. And she wants to so badly be a coach, but she has no belief up here. So she's been in my challenge groups for over 6 months. And some people are just, more work than others to get them to really see the picture and to believe in themselves. So, you just have to be that lifeline of motivation and support no matter what their journey is, and love and respect them for where they're at, and just keep helping them. So I send those thank you cards to those that I don't get responses to, one way or another from text or email.
Awesome. Very cool. Guys, do you want to unmute? Do you guys have any questions for Jess? I don't know. I think we're good. Well, I appreciate your time so much. Thank you too. I'll let you guys know when she sends over those documents. I recorded this too, so I'm going to upload it tonight and then I'll send it over to you.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful evening.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. Have a great night, guys.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Yes.